Yes, people. We had an exciting video, very juicy video. I'm in the same spot, still 3 degrees, very cold, but we're doing the things. Okay, so this is a video based on liquidity. Before we begin, you'll need to understand we're trying to take money from very smart individuals, people that study their whole life. I call them the market makers. These are the people that's up in Wall Street. We're trying to take money from them. So by understanding this, it gives us a better idea of why 99% of traders are, not profitable, and why only 1% of us are actually profitable traders. Liquidity. Okay, liquidity is how market makers take 99% of traders' money to pay the 1% profitable traders. We only 1%, guys. Imagine there's 99% of traders who are trying day in, day out, to have advantages over the market, but they can't. They just don't win. Why? Because they haven't come to that realization that we're trying to take money from very smart people. So we need to up our game. We need to be one up. Back to the first point, okay? We realize that these are very intelligent people we're trying to take money from. So before we see a setup and want to enter that setup, these people already know that setup exists. They know where we're going to place our stop loss on the chart. They know, for example, the setup from earlier, right? From earlier, that bearish flag we had from the previous video. How we taught from YouTube videos? You enter the market here on the top of the touch of the bearish flag, and you place stops above. The market makers know that, guys. They know that. They are going to spike the market up to take out your stop loss, and then you watch how the trade goes. I'm sure all of you will experience that before. Now, there's something on the chart I call the sight, and until you have the sight where you are able to enter on these spikes, these liquidity spikes, I found a way to beat the system. Okay, I'm gonna share that with you all now. Once you'll have the sight, then you can be entering on these liquidity spikes because you will understand how the market moves. But that comes with countless hours, pure dedication, sitting, watching price, watching US 30, looking how it moves, looking how it rejects. It's something that just clicks. It just clicks in your head. And once you've got it for life. Until you have the sight, I'm going to teach you a way of, having the upper hand over the market makers. So I've put in a few patterns on the chart, right? This one I did now with you. Okay. So Indice hustlers, we as Indice hustlers, we never trade with stops in negative. So, for example, bearish flag, we want to enter on that touch of the trend line, the top. Want to enter on the touch. And the way you normally taught is put stops above. Okay, so that's your stop loss in red, that's your entry in green. We never trade like this as Indice hustlers because I know that the market makers are going to spike. Before every move to the overall, to the direction of the pattern breakout, you're going to get a liquidity spike. That liquidity spike takes all the 99% of non-profitable traders to pay the 1% of us who know about the spike for the initial move. So how Indice Hustlers trades is, we never trade with stops in negative, never. Until you have the sight, this is how you're going to enter the market. You have a pattern, you place your entry. No stop loss. Market spikes out, you're in negative. It's fine. You're in negative, market comes back in, goes 1 to 20, 30 points in profit. That's the first time you put stop loss on a chart. Stops always in negative, never in, I mean stops always in profit, never in negative. Sorry for that. So let me redo this just in case I get confused. So the way Indice Hustlers trades is, we enter a trade on the top of the bearish flag. In green, we got our trade. Market spikes out. For instance, we don't have the sight yet. Market spikes out, comes back in, we in profit. Now we put stop loss on the chart for the very first time. This is the first time we put stops on the chart, and it's always in profit. Stop loss never in negative, never behind your trade, never behind your entry. You always trade with stops in profit. How do we handle this liquidity spikes? How? I found a way to beat the system by having 1,000 Rand or $65 funded. 1,000 Rand or $65 funded for every, depending on the broker, right? Depending on the broker you use, for every 0.01, or if you're trading with a different broker, they might not have 100 contract size, for every 1.00. So for every 1.00 or 0.01 you open on the chart, you will have 1,000 Rand funded, or $65 if you're trading in dollars. Reason being, if we have 1,000 Rand for every position that we open, it means the market makers need to spike out a whole 60 points to blow us. So this is our entry 34560. They spiked out to 34583. That's 20 points, correct? Entry 34560. Liquidity spike 34583. So we're roughly 20 points negative, 20 points drawdown. They need 60 points. They need to spike 60 points in the opposite direction to blow our account. And with trading on the way we trade, if you'll follow my strategy to the T, and you only look for chart patterns on 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 15 minutes, it's very rare that you're going to get a spike, a liquidity spike more than 60 points in the opposite direction, unless fundamentals are at play, where that is out of your hands. We'll get to that in the videos to come. You will understand. So how we beat the system until we have the sight. When we enter a trade, we don't put stop loss in. We handle the liquidity spikes with 1,000 Rand or $65 for every 0.1 or 1.00, depending on the broker. By doing this, the market makers need to spike 60 points in the opposite direction for us to blow our account. Really happens. So now we found a way to beat the system. Once we have the site, you all will understand that the liquidity spikes in a bearish pattern. They spike to the upside, always testing the highs. Look at this. They always test the highs. And in a bearish pattern, in a bullish pattern, they will spike to the downside and test the lows. Let me show you more examples. That's what comes with the site. So let's find more examples here, guys. Okay. What do we have here? Here we have a bearish pennant. Okay. Bearish pennant. What happened here? We enter the market. Let me just open up. We enter the market on the touch. Green is entry. What happens? Market makers spike out, liquidity spike. We don't have the site yet, so we trading according to the loophole I found, right? We enter the market shoots up. Where's our entry at? 33909. Market spikes up in the opposite direction to 33941. So that's about, say, 30 something points. How do we trade it? We got the loophole. We're trading with the magic. So we have 1,000 Rand or mistake there. 1,000 Rand or 65 USD funded for every 0.01 or 1.00 depending on the broker. And by doing this, let me just put this here. That's our liquidity. Put this in green. Okay, so for every 1,000 or $65 with the 0.1 or 1.00 depending on the broker, they need to spike out a whole 60 points to blow us. 60 points. Let me put that in red. They need to spike out 60 points, guys. This is the second one where it was less than 40 points. We beat them. We beat the system here. Market comes back in. We go into profit. Now is the first time we put stops on the chart. Stops at entry. Stops at entry, always in profit. Never in negative. We never put stop loss in negative, always in profit. We put stops at entry, market goes, oof, we in the money. You see? Another example. So this is magic, guys. This is magic. Let me show you more examples. Okay, what do we have here? This is a bearish rising wedge. What happens? For example, we don't have the site yet. We're still trading with this magic, this loophole that we found. We enter the market. Oof. Okay. So this liquidity spike was nice and big. We enter our entries on 34344. Market spiked up to 34389. So that's about 45 points. That was big. You're going to stress. But remember, the market, once you understand that you'll be able to see that the liquidity spikes always test the previous high in a sell pattern. Look here, previous highs in a sell pattern. And let's just go back to this one. Also a sell pattern. Look here, previous highs, point. And in a buy pattern, we'll test previous lows. So here we 45 points in drawdown, but we beat the system, right? Let me just bring this up around and keep typing in. We beat the system. We got 1,000 Rand funded for every position, and they need 60 points to blow us, which they failed again 3 times in a row. So we're beating the system, guys. Price comes back in. We're going into profit. With 20, 30 points in profit, we put stops at entry. Stops is in at entry, and we're sailing. We're sailing all the way. We're sailing. Another example. There's a bullish example. So we got a bullish flag here, right? We enter the market. Poof, liquidity spike happens. We entered at 343.45. Market spike to 342.98. That's about 50 points, roughly, give or take. Okay. We beat them again. We've got 1,000 Rand funded for each 01. They need 60 points to beat us. No? What happens now? Price comes back in. Once price comes back in, we're nice 20, 30 points in profit. What do? First time we put stops on the chart. Stops at entry. Poof. We beat the system again. Let's go for more examples. This is magic, guys. It's magic, guys. And look, what did I tell you all about the site? When you get the site, you'll be able to see liquidity spikes just test the previous point of structure. Look here. It came to retest the low. You know, the high, the previous high, sorry. That's how, oh, guys, this is, sorry, man. My bad. It came to retest the previous low. Let me get this. So on a liquidity spike in a bullish pattern, market will retest previous lows. On a liquidity spike in a bearish pattern, market will retest previous highs. You got me? I just confused you a little bit there. My bad. Okay, there's another pattern. Same story. Bearish pennant. What happens? We beat the system every time with this, guys. Telling you. Market comes, touch, we enter. Once we enter, I don't know if you can see entry nice here. There's our entry. What happens? Market spikes. Needs to go and retest the previous high because it's a bearish pattern. So market comes, retests previous high, it spikes out from entry 33794, spikes out to 33835. That's about 40 points, give or take. We beat them again. We beat the market makers again, guys. Here's the stuff. Let me just bring this down. So, how we beat them again? They spiked out 40 points. But we have 1,000 Rand for every position. They need 60 points to beat us. They failed. By them failing, what happens? We come back in and we go down. Once we're going down, 20, 30 points in profit, stops at entry. We put our stops at entry and we sail. We sail. This is pure magic. This is how I found a way to beat liquidity, guys. We have the upper hand over the market makers right now. And many of you all know how I trade. I won't trade there. I enter the market on liquidity. Why? Because I have the sight and you are going to get it too. I know when this thing spikes out to take out liquidity, it's coming to the previous low in a buy pattern. In a sell pattern, it's going to retest the previous high. When it goes to that point to retest that major point of structure, that's where I enter. So why this market selling? I buy here. I start barcoding my buys. And as I barcode my buys, the market turns never to return. That's skill. That's skill. And this skill I'm going to teach you all. I'm teaching you all the magic. I'm teaching you all how I do it. Behind the scenes here. This course is giving, oh, guys, the way you're going to damage your brokers. I feel sorry for them. Anyway, okay. What do we have here? Symmetrical triangle. You'll know symmetrical triangle can break to the upside or the downside. It's a dangerous pattern to trade, right? Okay, so what happened here? This pattern broke to the upside, but it took out liquidity to the downside. So you see what I'm saying? If a pattern, if it's a bullish pattern and the market's going up, the market makers will always manipulate and spike to the opposite direction. That's why I said in the beginning of this video, these are very smart people we're trying to take money from. So that's why after realizing that, I was able to up my game. I was able to up my game and have one up over them because I came to the realization that these are smart people. If you're dealing with dumb people, there's no challenge in this life. You'll get. So I realized they're clever, they're intelligent, and that's what challenged me to get to the point I'm at now. Right. For example, we enter the market. Poof. Entry. Market spikes out. 33478. Market spikes out to 33425. That's around 50, say 55, 56 points, right? 55, 56 points. We beat them again. We've got 1,000 Rand funded for each position. They need 60 points to beat us. We beat them again. What they do? What happens? Price comes back inside. We put stops at entry. And we're sailing, guys. We're sailing. Kwena Chow TPs. We beat the market makers, guys. You'll have the tools now. You'll have the tools to acquire the sight. Once you'll have the sight, you're going to be entering like Sanos. Yes, while it's selling, you're going to buy. While it's buying, you're going to sell. And where you sell from, that thing's never coming back. You look like you turned the market. Guys, I've given you all the keys, guys, the keys. Yo, let me catch you in the next one, guys. It's a movie.